A Citizen's Guide to Supporting Federal Candidates, an online presentation of the FEC's Information Division. This presentation is designed to encourage citizens like yourself to take an active part in the federal election process. As you'll soon learn, there are several ways you may support candidates running for the U.S. House, Senate, and the presidency. Certain activities, however, are subject to the federal campaign finance law. For example, the law limits the amount you may contribute and prohibits certain people and organizations from making contributions at all. The law also requires public disclosure of certain campaign finance information. While there are many ways you can support candidates for federal office, three of the most common are listed here: contributions, independent expenditures, and volunteer activity. The campaign finance law defines the term contribution very broadly to include anything of value given for the purpose of influencing a federal election. That includes donations of money, goods and services, and any special discounts offered outside the normal course of business. Contributions are subject to limits both on their source and amount and must be disclosed to the public. Any contributions you make to federal candidates and committees are subject to the limits set forth in this chart. The highlighted limits are adjusted for inflation each election cycle, so be sure you're looking at the most current limits chart before making a contribution. If you contribute more than $200 to a candidate, PAC, or party committee, your name, address, occupation, and employer will be disclosed as part of the recipient committee's report to the FEC. Those reports are made public in the FEC's Public Records Office and on our website. The law prohibits contributions from certain sources, including corporations and labor organizations, government contractors, and foreign nationals. As an exception to the corporate labor ban, corporations and unions may sponsor PACs that raise money from the company's employees and stockholders or the union's members. These PAC funds may be used to make contributions to federal candidates. The government contractor ban applies to persons holding contracts to provide goods or services to the federal government. If you just work for a company that has a government contract, the ban won't prevent you from making personal contributions. The foreign national ban applies to anyone who is not either a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. That ban applies to all U.S. elections, federal, state, and local. It's also illegal to make a contribution in the name of another, that is, to reimburse or otherwise fund another person's contribution. Now let's talk about independent expenditures. Unlike contributions, independent expenditures are not subject to any amount limitations, and corporations and unions can use their treasury funds to make them. Independent expenditures are payments for communications, like this billboard, that expressly advocate the election or defeat of a candidate, but are not coordinated with that candidate's campaign. Every independent expenditure must include a disclaimer that identifies who paid for it, and that person must report their activity to the FEC. If you spend $250 or more on an independent expenditure, you'll need to report to the FEC on Form 5. Those reports are generally filed on a quarterly schedule. However, if your independent expenditure is made more than 20 days before an election and totals $10,000 or more, you'll need to disclose it within 48 hours. Closer to the election, 24-hour reports are required for independent expenditures of $1,000 or more. Now let's discuss volunteer activities. The campaign finance law includes a number of exemptions that allow individuals to provide volunteer services to federal candidates and party committees without those services being treated as a contribution. For instance, you can provide personal services, host an event in your home, make limited use of your workplace or labor union facilities without making a contribution. You may volunteer your personal services to a campaign without making a contribution as long as you're not compensated by anyone else. If you are compensated, the activity is no longer considered volunteer activity, and the payments, if made by someone other than the campaign itself, result in an in-kind contribution from that person subject to the limits, prohibitions, and reporting requirements of the Act. If you host a campaign-related gathering in your home, community room, or church, the cost of invitations and the food and beverages served at the event are not considered contributions if they remain under certain limits. If the event benefits a candidate, the limit is $1,000 per election. If the event benefits a political party committee, the limit is $2,000 per year on behalf of all committees of the same political party. Incidental use of your employer or labor union's facilities for volunteer activity will not result in a contribution as long as the activity does not interfere with your work or the organization's normal activities. You'll need to reimburse the organization for any increased costs or if your activity involves more than incidental use of the facilities. Generally, incidental use is no more than 1 hour a week or 4 hours per month. The Federal Election Commission is committed to encouraging compliance with the campaign finance laws. In addition to the information we provide on our website, we maintain a toll-free information line you can call for help. We respond within 5 business days to questions sent by email, and we conduct conferences throughout the country, host webinars on a variety of topics, and post e-learning videos like this one on our website and YouTube channel. We encourage you to make use of these resources and look forward to serving you.